Hey, everybody, Multiple Idiots, episode 17. Sarah Shockey in the hot seat this week, seeing if she can become a Bologna boy. We'll see if she got what it takes. We had a lot of fun, though, chatting about things like VHS tapes and middle school dances and traveling around. She's a fantastic podcaster in her own right. Check out her show, Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. Support that. Also, I'd like if you supported me. What about me? I'd love to be supported by you because you seem great and I appreciate you guys listening. Recently, I got a new review and I will read it for you right now. The only thing I love more than this podcast is the hilarious stylings of the host. Thank you. I appreciate that. He makes me laugh so much, I have to wear special underwear that catches all my pee. So we thank the good people of iTunes for allowing that to be posted. Post your own review. Throw us 5 stars. I'll read it on the air. We'll all have fun. Rate, review, and subscribe. Thank you so much. This weekend, I'm at the Zanies in St. Charles, Illinois, with my good friend Brad Wenzel, a man I've known for a very long time and a man we will have on this podcast. So come out, see us over at Zanies in St. Charles. Thank you. I'm at the Mike O'Keefe on all your social medias. My guest this week was Sarah Shockey at Sarah Joy Shockey on all those social medias at Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's get into it. Let's have a good time. Let's have a little laugh. Wouldn't you agree? And now here we go. Shockey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I'm just chilling with you.
I like to ask the hard-hitting questions here. How's it going?
You know, it's going pretty good. I'm at the place right now where outside of work, I'm so happy.
Oh, there you go.
And when I'm at work,
the best.
I'm miserable.
Yeah.
But I'm trying really hard to do better at work and have a good attitude and stuff. It's just when you know you're not liking it.
Yeah. But you like... You know when you're in a bad relationship and you do like the math of like, I can't break up now because Christmas is tomorrow.
I was thinking about that today.
Breakup math, it's the worst.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you're listening, I know you come here to this podcast about me trying to finally make some friends in my life. I know you come here for romantic advice. If you're doing breakup math.
That's your sign.
Just get out of there.
One time I Googled, how do you know when you should break up?
Oh, and my God. How old were you when this happened?
This was the last time I broke up with somebody, so not that long ago.
Oh, good for you.
And I got tricked into this BuzzFeed article that was like, yeah, you know, if you're feeling this way, or if you're feeling like this, or if you're, you know, wish they would change this thing, blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, oh, and number 1, you Googled that. So it's like,
duh.
I was like, they got my ass.
Yeah, oh, my God.
And then 2 to 3 months later...
It's like, this is miserable. I'll see how miserable I am in 6 months. Let's see.
Yeah. How are you doing? You had a big one today.
I had a big weekend. We are recording this on...
the 14th of January.
14th of January. And I just came back from a funeral for beloved Chicago comedian Dave Metz, nay Gustella. And I feel good that we're doing this now because, number one, you're probably one of the top... 37 most positive people I know. 37
seems about right.
I think 37 is good. There's a lot.
I'm doing my best, Mike.
I you know what? And I appreciate it. We all do. But Dave was a voracious worker and a very funny man and a very caring man and a very loyal man, which are all things that were said all over this weekend. Also, I know Dave had a lot of friends because everyone from each walk of his life had a different nickname for him.
Oh, that's funny.
It was amazing. It's like everyone in his high school was like, oh, Stella. His teacher was like, yeah, Grifty Gus, that's our boy. And then all the Sams were like, Metzy, our guy.
Yeah, you remember old Messy Pete. It's like, what? Oh, yeah, he used to come to the kitchen all the time.
Stinky Tom, he's our boy. Oh, Rolando, my man.
I always like stuff like that because even like funerals are so sad and you're dealing with death and all that. But at the same time, you walk away with some of the best, like, what do you say, gallows humor, death bits. And everyone's so funny when people die.
This is going to sound crazy, but everyone was on fire last night.
Isn't that? And
so
it's like
weird.
you just draw from these weird depths of your soul, but then it's kind of like you end up feeling closer to everybody because everyone's like weirdly at their best worst.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I really think it's almost a fight or flight. You get one option and then it's the same one twice. You get fight or flight or flight or flight. Flight or flight. You either have to definitely fight, or in a different situation, you're definitely getting on a jet plane.
Yeah.
But I think it's just that response where like, I have to make myself feel better. I'm going to do a goofy voice. Here we go.
Yeah. And it's that thing of like, I'm so sick of crying. Yeah. I'm so sick of feeling this. Like, and then you go in some strange direction to try to pull out of it. And then usually that's like, oh, that's the funniest thing you've ever said. Oh
my, 100%. Yeah. Friend of the show, Nate Burrows, was at, there's a funeral mass.
Truly Todd.
Yeah, Truly Todd. And our other buddies, Sweet Sassy Dale McPeak.
Everyone's got nicknames now.
Everyone's got nicknames now. So they were in line for communion, and Dale's in front of Nate for communion, and Nate says, hey, Dale wanted 2. Can he have 2?
You can't let a bunch of comedians at a funeral take communion.
You can't.
Who allowed this? There should be some priest that's like, I've seen this before.
No, thank you, my friend. But it was a really, really emotional weekend, and I'm glad I got to go. I'm glad I got to support our community of buddies, and I'm glad we're here, and I'm glad we're doing this, and also I'm glad that you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad yes, exactly.
I've been looking forward to this.
Listen.
I begged to be on this podcast.
You really did.
I made my boyfriend, who has more comedy status than me, book it because I wanted to do it, and I'm too proud to ask directly.
That's my favorite part. Is like we talk pretty frequently. You could have just asked.
Yeah, but I feel like you know what it was? I didn't even ask directly. I mentioned to Marty that I wanted to do it sometime,
and then he's
thinking
a
he would
human Care Bear.
Oh my gosh, his favorite thing is to connect people who should be working together.
Yeah, or he's very good at it too.
Yeah. He's a big Amazon you something when you're not expecting it person.
Which that is. You're a lucky gal.
You're
that's
telling
the
me.
Perfect person to be in a relationship with.
It's so fun. But you know what? I'm the same way. So it's just, somebody was like, do you guys do special stuff for Valentine's Day? And I was like, this is going to sound like an asshole. But
we do special stuff for Thursday.
We do special stuff all the time. And that's part of what's fun.
What was the last big special thing?
Well, he bought me a trip to London for Christmas.
Are you going to London?
He's all right.
Oh, God.
That's
amazing.
A big unexpected.
That's great. When are you guys going?
We're going to pick it together.
Oh, great.
So we're kind of thinking of maybe we'll shape it around a wrestling thing. Maybe we'll, this and that. And it's just so fun because we love planning stuff together. We like doing trips together, but I had no idea this was coming. So I was bawling on it. He's made me cry the last 2 Christmases, just immediately. I peel open the wrapping paper and see what the deal is and then immediately start bawling.
That's awesome. That's great. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard of.
And he also got me on this podcast. That's almost better than the London trip, honestly.
We are actually recording this from Liverpool, which is not as good as London.
Blackpool.
From Blackpool. That's great. Me and Mal have decided. Well, Mal doesn't celebrate Christmas because she isn't. She's a Jewish lady. Mm-hmm. So we decided every year for Christmas, she doesn't have to get me anything. I don't have to get her anything. We have to plan a trip together.
Oh, that's so fun!
Isn't that great?
I love that.
It's amazing. It's so fantastic.
And when you can travel well with the person that you're with, and even just friends, any friend that it's a rare gem to find someone you're like, oh my God, we travel well together.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
My friend from high school, Maggie, that's one of my rare finds where I know today we could go somewhere and be fine.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But so the first year, New Orleans.
I love it.
The Big Easy. Mm-hmm. Second year, Nashville. The big afternoon. You don't need to be in Nashville.
What's the big evening? What's the next one?
Columbia. We're going to Columbia in April.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, because apparently you're allowed to go now. You can just go and hang out.
You just show up.
You just show up, and we got boat tours planned and stuff.
I love it.
I'm not going to work out until I get there. and I'm just going to have all the pictures be terrible, and then I'll work out after that. I think
And
that's
then
a good call.
be like, oh, this was me in paradise, and now my abs look like a paradise.
I have 2 big abs.
You big, just Finn Balor and a Finn Balor, but just one of each.
Dots on each of them.
Yeah.
I roll down a hill, snake eyes. It's a nice time.
Yeah.
So you and your beloved Mortimer.
I
don't know. The cat at the studio is called Mortimer, so I get thrown off.
Yeah.
I get thrown off. 2 years now.
Yes, we've been officially dating, but we've been doing the podcast longer, a year and a half longer than we've been dating.
Yeah. So what's the move when you guys are doing the podcast together and not dating?
Like, it's just me hanging out with Marty. This was the thing that would happen. I would go over there and I would do the podcast with him, and I would be like, this is such a great opportunity. I've never done anything like this specifically in comedy where we're doing like voices with each other. We're doing goofs and having fun. And then I would go home and for months just be like, I can't like him. Yeah. Like, this is so stupid.
This is a business relationship.
I'm going to ruin everything.
Yeah.
I already have a boyfriend. Like, this is not fair. So for
You're
months,
Googling how to get out of that.
Well, I was like, at first I was like going through the stage of denial where I was like, well, there's no way he would ever want to date me. So I can this is not a thing. I have a boyfriend. Just be happy with that. It's good. It's good. It's good. And then at a certain point I was like, it's not fair to the guy that I'm currently dating if I feel this way about someone else. And even if we don't ever end up being together, I should not be with someone that I don't feel the same way about. And then I broke up with my ex, and my big plan was I wasn't going to tell Marty for 2 years.
2 years. 2 years.
And then my thinking was he'll date a bunch of hot waitresses, as he's wont to do, and then spend a little time with them.
Of course.
That's my code for if I want to find out if there's like a girl that we come into contact with, if they ever slept together, I'll go, did you ever spend time with her? I just want to know.
That's amazing.
It's just fun to know. But we ended up dating pretty soon after.
I have a very similar thing with Mal where I'll just go, you hit that? You
hit that? Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then if she does, we high five.
We had an Uber ride with a woman he spent some time with.
Oh, man.
A shared Uber.
Oh, my Lord.
And it was like the energy.
Just on accident.
Oh,
my Lord.
The energy was so specifically like that. When we had maybe been dating for like 4 months. And I was like, did you ever... And he was like, oh, yeah, for sure. I don't know if you've ever listened to Wrestling with Depression. Marty's very open. He'll just tell you.
Yeah, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
We had Marty on here 2 weeks ago, and he told us all the dirty fucking details. All the little guy. Oh, he spent a lot of time with a lot of ladies. Oh, Marty was a man about town.
They call him the time spender.
Spending time. He did. Yeah, he was... It's cool that you guys had that. I love the idea of you spending an hour and a half at least with someone each week and you not telling them that you had a breakup. That's insane to me.
No. I wasn't going to tell him my feelings. Oh,
you weren't going to tell your feelings for 2 years.
I told him.
Oh, my God. Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
I told him when we broke up.
Yeah.
And then he was super nice and like, do you need anything? Like whatever. But in a very we were always very like, well-behaved, like distance-wise. Like there was never any crossover. No questionables.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
no time spent. Yeah.
Then finally when we started dating, it was like the first night we kissed, I was like, ooh, how much do I tell him? I told him everything.
Oh my God.
I told him everything about all my feelings for my entire life. I don't know how he wasn't like, okay.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Good for him.
Yeah, no, he's great.
That's great.
We stayed up till 8 a.m. talking. We were up the whole night.
Wow.
Went to sleep, woke up around 11 a.m, kept talking, and I was like, oh my God, this is the most fun thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's just been fun ever since. And it was fun before that, and it will continue to be fun.
The amount of time that you guys spend together is appalling. No, it's
He always jokes. Yeah. He always jokes that we're going to get joined at the hip because he'll be like, hey, I'm going out of town this weekend. And I always need like 10 minutes to just be like, Okay, I'll change my plan. And he one night pulled
I won't do that many edibles.
He pulled his shorts down and made X's. And he goes, this is where they're going to put the incision so that we can always be together. I'm like, get off my nuts. Just because I like hanging out. Just because I don't need as much alone time as everyone else in the world.
The first night I slept over at Mal's, she just whispers in my ear. She goes, can I cut you open so I can live inside of you? And now all I want to do, like, I think that'll be my wedding gift to her. Is
I said,
I will crack open my ribs tauntaun style.
Tauntaun style.
And she can just weasel in there.
I think it was a week or two ago. I turned to Marty and I said, I just want to crawl up inside you and scream.
And I think when a child, a young teen, asks you about love, which they're gonna do.
Here's how you know. When you want to crawl up inside the other person disgustingly.
Yeah. Email Marty and Sarah at lovewrestling@gmail.com if you want to know if you're in love.
Yeah, there you go. There you have it.
It's a good, but that is the name of the podcast. I don't think we said it yet, but Marty and Sarah
Plug
Love
it.
Wrestling. It's a good time. You do a lot of voices.
We have a lot of people on the show, winkety wink.
Oh yeah, you don't do a lot. You just have this one lame voice you got right now. Where
Yeah,
it's
mine.
Like,
I can't do any
I'm
impressions.
from the Midwest, man.
Yeah.
I'm from nowhere.
I was in a theater
up around
class,
corn. Yeah.
and one of the exercises was describe the person next to you, and like you look at them and then turn and write something down and read it to the class. And so I remember looking at the guy and being like, well, I'm going to be nice, like his hairline's receding. I'm not going to talk about that. Like I'm going to give him, his best qualities.
Yeah.
He goes, Sarah has a Midwestern face.
Oh my God.
That is the sickest burn I've ever heard in my life.
I think you look at his paper. He had shovel crossed out Midwestern. Sarah's got a real shovel. That
Quote,
might not hit well.
Everyone's mom. Sarah Shockey.
Sarah looks like she watches too much golf.
I'm wondering if she's already had kids. Seems like it.
Seems like Sarah gave me a juice box and I wasn't suspicious. So when you were in school, were you like in theater and all that stuff?
Yeah, I always liked doing theater and choir, and my mom would let me do like a summer theater camp here and there.
Let me ask you this about theater camp, because I went to regular kid camp. Y'all making out?
Not me.
No?
Everywhere that I
Unbelievable.
went, so we moved a whole bunch when I was a kid. Like, I think I moved like 6 times before I was like 9.
Oh yeah, your dad was a pro baseball player.
Yeah, I wish. Can you imagine? So he would like change sales jobs and like always chasing after the next big thing. And
Real fisherman.
every school I went to, I was like, all right, Sarah, this time you're going to show up and be popular. And it's just gonna, and I was like that with every camp I ever went to, like, all right, Shockey, this time they're gonna, but every time I was like anxious and like hoping everyone would think I was popular, which is very off-putting.
That's the opposite of being popular.
And I cried a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God, of course.
I remember like one time these track camp coaches getting so exasperated with me, they just abandoned me outside crying.
God.
And some like 35-year-old woman was like, what is going on? She like went and found them. And then they were like, okay, you can call your parents.
Just run and don't cry, please.
Yeah, please. This is running camp. You seem like you hate running and you were forced to go here.
That's amazing. So I kind of had the experience that you wanted at camp, to be honest with you.
Oh, you show up in like big cool guy Mike all of a sudden?
Because like I went to this crazy tiny elementary school that was like 25 kids, the same 25 kids.
If you're not Matt Gassaway, day one.
Listen,
that was the most popular kid at my school, Matt Gassaway, and nobody made fun of his last name.
Gassaway?
Gassaway.
Oh, man.
And I couldn't get in a, Shockmaster.
Shockmaster. Shockmaster. No, we had Stephen Kiss, and he did this thing in 8th grade where the teacher would leave. Also, I basically went to a modern equivalent of a one-room schoolhouse.
Sure.
Like, it was 25 kids. You had one teacher for every subject.
That's wild.
Yeah,
what
crazy.
part of the world was this?
A really remote village called Ann Arbor, Michigan.
In Ann Arbor? You had a class of 25?
St. Thomas the Apostle.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's the biggest church in town. It's the biggest point in town.
I spent some time in Ann Arbor.
Oh, you spent a little time in Ann Arbor?
I didn't spend time with anyone, but I was there.
I was about, I guess. And he would, I don't mean, I'm sure if Steve hears this, which there's a good chance he will. I'm sure he will love that I'm talking about this because he was the hammiest kid, and now he's like he's doing very well, and he's a great dude. But the teacher would leave, And Steve Kiss would just pull his pants down, but then he would hike his underwear up like in a thong in his butt, and then go out of the room, walk backwards into the room, and be like, "Hey guys, Naked Man's here." Naked, and everyone would be like, "Yeah, Naked Man." And then he would leave, pull his pants back up, and be like, "Hey, was Naked Man here? I didn't
that's
see
a
him."
good bit.
That's a solid bit.
That's a good bit.
That's a solid
and if everybody's on board, it's like, go to town.
Yeah. And it's like, I think when you're 13 and if nobody's being overtly sexual aggressive, I think
Naked Man gets a pass.
I think Naked Man gets a pass.
Yeah.
I don't mean to, I think Naked Man gets a pass.
I'm a woman and I'm giving Naked Man a pass.
Thank you so much. Naked Man, not
And
canceled.
I only get 4 passes a year,
You
so
get
I'm
4
already
passes?
down to 3.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What were your 4 passes last year?
I can't remember,
Good
and
call.
I don't want to.
That's improv 101 right there, baby.
No, but I'll say something else.
I will jingle a different set of keys. But so my thing, I was like with these same 25 kids my entire, like up into adolescence. And then I would go to camp every summer, same camp store. And I was the shit.
Oh, that's like, see, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I could never, never happened.
I was like a great athlete and like you throw a football. I was like, who cares? I don't know these kids from Adam. Like, and I like got my first kiss there.
I woke up the whole
great.
cabin having a dream in Spanish and screaming, ayúdame, ayúdame.
Oh, help me. Oh, I don't like that.
That's like, that's off-putting
It
for
really
a
is.
child.
That's not a king-making move.
No, it's kind of a weenus-making move.
Yep. That is for dipshits.
But you know what? I've had a real renaissance of people liking me in the back half of my years.
The glow up is real.
Yeah. But I think it's because I have empathy for everyone who wanted to be better than they were and didn't know how.
Oh my God. Yeah. I do too. Cause then I got to high school and it's all boys and I'm like, I went from
I had a kiss at camp.
I kissed a girl at camp and then I thought about her every day for the next 2 years.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how that works.
That's exactly how that works. Shout out to Bailey Giacchi. Great gal. But then I went to this all boys high school, which, pretty lame.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a different kind of energy where everyone's just like, ah.
Yeah. It was like, oh, we got to bust each other's balls or else we don't know who's going to be cool.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like that.
When there's more dynamics, I think, then there's other means of getting people to think you're cool. And I had a class, like when I finally graduated, because I was in middle school through high school at the same place.
Okay.
It was like 350 people. East Lansing.
In East Lansing.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I was in Indiana for a chunk of elementary school and
Okay.
Pennsylvania for a chunk of elementary school.
And now your parents are back in Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
cool.
my brother and his wife and kids. And then I've got a sister in Charlotte.
Are you guys going to never mind. I'll ask you that later.
We'll figure it out.
Also, we like wrestling a lot. And you guys should go to Vegas. You should figure Vegas out. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah. Me and former guest of the show, David Phillips.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Got a flight, got a place. We're very excited.
David was being so funny at the last AEW show. I don't remember what we were talking about, but we were having such a good time.
Low-key Phillips is one of the funniest people I know. And I'll say it to his face.
High key Phillips.
He is. Next time you see him, ask him to do, he does a character that is the guy singing the Big Show's theme song.
Oh, okay. I want to hear that.
Well, it's the Big Show. Here he is. I can't do it justice, but yeah, so in Michigan, you're here, you're in East
Finally
Lansing.
making friends.
You're finally making friends. You're in East Lansing, Trojan, you're hanging out. You end up going to college in your same town, just
Because
like
we had
me.
moved so much, I was like, I'm done.
finally stayed put.
I have a friend who wants to live with me at college. Let me stay.
Yeah.
And then I just hit my 10 years in Chicago, which is officially the longest I spent in any one place.
That's the longest you spent. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
I love it.
I got to the point where I can't really imagine living anywhere else.
I love Chicago.
I love it so much.
I've taken to recently. I'm doubling down on watching like the WTTW programming that's like, hey, Jeffrey Bear gives you a tour of the Chicago River. I'm like doubling down on facts about Chicago. I'm watching YouTube videos where people are telling you secrets about Chicago. I've like become a real maniac.
To quote your former friend from acting class, I don't know if she's a mom, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, right.
That's amazing. What's the best Chicago fact you've learned? Do you know that the river is deep?
It is a deep river. There's a cool...
The lake is cold.
East.
It's east.
I really like, there's this one building on the river, and I wish I could tell you the name of it, but they basically were like, at the time it was built, they're like, nobody's going to want to see the river. Just make the back of the building blank. And it'll just be a blank building. And it's a stinky river and everybody hates it. And then you know what the river downtown is like now.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
So the people who had the building were like, we got to do something. So they made a map of the river on the building. And then they put a little like, you are here of where the big old building is. And then the you are here doesn't have anything on it. There's no like, I would love it if it was like a map on it, like a Land O'Lakes butter.
Just goes forever.
That Land O'Lakes butter label blew my mind as a kid.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I might not know what you're talking about.
So it's the woman on the cover. She's Native American. She's holding a Land O'Lakes butter. And the label is of her holding a Land O'Lakes butter. And on the label is her holding a Land. And I remember standing there with my mom in the store and just being like, how far does it go? Am I part of it?
Is this what the movie Inception is about?
Exactly.
Finally.
That's where they got the idea. Every child, 1 in 4 children has had the Land O'Lakes butter experience.
Yeah.
And those people all grew up to be very violent creatives. Violent with ideas.
I had no idea. That's amazing.
Look for it next time you're in the store.
We were a Kerrygold family because it was
Kerrygold.
It's the best butter out there.
That's Starbucks serves Kerrygold.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Good for them. They're
Yeah.
a smart company. They do a lot of good things. But now Kerrygold has an Irish cream liqueur. And
That tastes like butter.
It does. But good butter.
I love butter. But
Top 5 foods, butter.
But I also love Country Crock.
Okay. All right. How do you feel about I can't believe it's not butter?
That's like the same as Country Crock.
Okay.
I'm like fine with it.
You just need it.
I think if somebody said it was okay for me to use Parquet squeeze butter more, I would, but I don't think anybody will, so I don't.
Think they will either.
Yeah. That's an embarrassing thing to buy.
Listen, if the Parquet squeeze people hear this, they could be just like Blue Chew. They could be in. Also, Marty and Sarah's podcast is sponsored by boner medication.
Yeah, bluechew.com. Use the promo code Brad and you can get your first supply for just $5.
It's the best.
And you know what's so fun is they're like, listen, you guys are a couple using Blue Chew. Just say whatever you want. We don't have copy anymore. We just plug it.
They are a very laid back boner medication company.
I love them.
It's great. That's
I love
amazing.
them.
And it's weird that they've become the boner pill of pro wrestling.
Because
they
one of the
showed up at
guys,
Starcast, right?
Yeah, one of the guys is a big wrestling fan. And it's like, what better way to get into
That's
all the
best
people that
thing.
you like than to, bring your boner pill medication promo codes and, have fun. Let's all have fun.
Yeah.
Can we just have fun for once?
I think that's really the thesis, the overall general statement of this show and your show and most shows.
Let's just have fun.
Let's have a little fun.
Yeah.
Let's give them something to fun about.
How about fun?
This is another thing that happened on the trip this weekend. It sounds weird to call it a trip, but I don't know what else to call it.
It was a trip.
It was a trip.
It was a trip.
It was a fucking trip. But our friend, former guest of the show, Bill Gavertz, about maybe 45 minutes into the ride out of Chicago, just goes, "Hey, do you guys know that song where that guy goes, I like bread and butter?" Like, what are you talking about? I like toasted jam. And I was like, oh my God. And so I've just had that in my head on a loop.
Do you know that's
he just
the song?
Put an earworm into my fucking ear.
That's the song that opens up the Brave Little Toaster, which I watched until the VHS broke as a child.
Oh my God.
And I can't say that I really like the movie, but I needed to watch it all the time.
Why was that? Was there nothing else around?
No, it was like I would seek that, and Milo and Otis were my two.
Okay.
And they're both disturbing for different reasons. I didn't know as a kid that the Milos and Otises were multiple.
There's a ton of them. And
Yeah.
I named, as a bit, I named the only dog I've ever got to name Milo. And then I told my then girlfriend that bit, and she tried to get me to change it, but the dog would only answer to Milo.
Yep. So there you go.
Suck it.
Ruined a dog.
Ruined a dog. Ruined a relationship. We all came out golden. Everything's fine now.
I don't know why I watched it. It honestly, like, most of the songs terrified me.
Yeah.
But I had to watch it.
It's a weird movie.
But a lot of the people that did it became the brain trust for Pixar.
Yeah.
So it's like an interesting like thing that you're seeing of like it's very well done, and they do like crazy extra like high concept animation things.
It's very in depth.
Yeah,
it's
but
very,
it's not really
like layered.
for kids.
Not at all.
It's like very upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as good as Into the Spider-Verse. I'll say it.
It's exactly as good as Into the Spider.
That cartoon that made me cry recently.
That was a really good movie.
Fucking A, that movie was great.
And you know what? Those were the guys that did Clone High.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Check out Clone High if you haven't seen
Clone
it.
High is so good. I think a lot of them are on YouTube.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I have YouTube on my phone. Do you have a phone?
Yeah.
Cool.
But I like to watch YouTube on the big screen, on the Roku in the bedroom TV.
I'm going to ask you 2 questions. I would like for you to answer both of them.
Yes. What if I was like, nah, you get one?
I'll answer one, Michael. What other movies did you have that you almost wore the ribbon off on a VHS? Because I have a story about me doing that, and I have a story about my best friend doing that, and I will tell you that afterwards.
Raggedy Ann and Andy, A Musical Adventure. Awesome. And at one point, my ding-dong friend Christine tried to hit pause for some reason and hit record. So the version I have has about
like those weird lines on
3 minutes of an HGTV or like a repair show. Okay. And at that time, I didn't think just hit stop.
Yeah.
I ran and got my mom. So the amount of time that I was running to get my mom, I have like someone being like, well, with the sink, you can kind of hammer. I was so mad at her too. I was like, you ruined my VHS. Now I have like another VHS of it that I got at a thrift store in case.
I love the time in HGTV and like Home Shopping Network before they knew to make the hosts charismatic.
This was like that, where it was like they're giving you
like
useful
mumbling
information, but like they don't seem like they want to be filmed.
They're not looking at the camera at all.
Never. And there's maybe 2 shots.
Yeah, that are like usable by today's
no
standards.
music.
Yeah. So I watched my.
What was your wear out tape?
My 2 were The Mask with Jim Carrey.
I was not allowed to watch that, but I appreciate that it exists.
Boy, oh boy, if you want to go back and see, I know you and Marty are big 90s people. If you want to see some classic 90s hot, Cameron Diaz in that movie is woke up things in me I did not know I had as a young man. Number 2, Weird Al Yankovic Live.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So I would get out that Bad Hair Day CD from the library constantly. And then I want to say 5 years ago, went and saw him at the Chicago Theater.
Okay.
With Tyler Patterson and Cody Milcher.
Nice.
And we just watched Weird Al. And you know what? He put on a great freaking show.
He's playing Ravinia this summer. And
Let's go. Hey,
I'm very excited. I'm definitely going.
Sometimes I can get a hookup on Ravinia tickets, so I'll keep my eye out.
Mal's dad used to be on the board.
Well, so you get a hookup.
Yeah, I said get a
All right, well, let me know if you can get me a hookup after I offered you mine.
We'll hook the whole thing up.
Okay.
It'll all be fine.
All right.
And then my
This
best...
is on tape.
All right,
This is on tape. I'll remember it.
I'll tell you what. We haven't done the ASMR minute yet, but we'll shake hands. They can hear it. That is a handshake on Weird Al.
I did the ASMR fingers.
We'll have a minute for it later. Don't worry. These people, a lot of people listen to this just for the ASMR minute. They get through about 58 minutes of bullshit.
I don't feel that ASMR is lacking on the internet right now.
Listen, but they know who the best is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
The people who only do it for a minute as a goof at the end of their podcast.
Exactly.
Right.
But my best friend Justin, his parents got divorced when he was pretty young. So for like a year and a half, every time he would stay the weekend at his dad's, they'd go to Blockbuster, and he rented Good Burger every single time.
Just buy him Good Burger,
right?
Dad.
Right?
Yikes.
He rented Good Burger like a million times.
Like
but then
the kids, this is a cry for help. Buy him the tape.
Just get him the tape. Yeah. Yeah, that same orange tape every single time.
Gosh, I love those orange tapes.
Whenever they were a different color, I love that.
I remember going to
Saving Silverman was blue.
Was blue?
Yeah.
Okay. I went to a thrift store when I was little, and I picked out a tape that had
cool
the
flex, bro. Sorry.
Yeah. Or it was like a flea market or something. I felt like it was outside.
Swap me.
And I had it had the Warner Brothers logo on this tape, and I was like, I would like this tape. And my mom was like, looked at it. She was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yes, absolutely." I thought it was a Bugs Bunny tape because of that big WB.
Yeah.
It was a Peter, Paul, and Mary. And
my God.
I had to like double down and be like, I love Peter, Paul, and Mary. And I knew what I was getting. And now I know that whole tape by heart. I can play some of the songs on the ukulele.
Just the idea of not just you buying it, but you being like, yeah, I do. Let me prove it to you. And then you put it in, and then you put the subtitles on so you can learn the words to the song.
There's just such a moment, and it was a cassette tape. So you put it in and you get that rewind, and then I'm just waiting for this like dude. Yeah, what's up, dog? And then it's just like, if you miss the train I'm on. And it's like, oh.
So it wasn't a videotape, it was a cassette tape.
It was a cassette tape. And I like memorized it and really doubled down. I'm like, well, this is my tape and it was bought for me and I love it and this is what I wanted and I knew what I was getting and I didn't think it was Bugs Bunny because I'm not a plebeian child.
I'm very high class. I'm very sophisticated. That was when I just started getting into punk rock when I was like 12 or 13, we went out to see my family in San Francisco. I have a couple cousins and uncles in San Francisco. And there was this one cool record store. It looked really cool. And we went in there and there was a whole section of punk rock records. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get a punk CD. It's going to be very important to me. I'm going to love it.
And it's for my life, I'm making a choice.
For my life, I'm making a choice. And it was this band Blood for Blood. And I put it on. It was so, they were a scary band. It scared me.
But you made a choice.
But I made it, and I was like, I have to listen to this. They're like, I fucking have to lie. I'm just like, I am enjoying this.
Yes.
This is good time music for me, a 12-year-old from the suburbs. I love it.
I feel like I was always trying to find my thing where it was like, I made a choice, okay?
Yeah.
And you know what? Your girl's a big Jason Mraz head. And you know what? It's stuck. I'm not really keeping up with as much of his recent stuff, but there is like a saga of time where it was just like,
just Mraz.
I know every single like,
I would do this really weird thing in Detroit and a little bit here too, where I'd look at like all the upcoming shows of all the venues and I would just pick one and be like,
I'm going to that.
Yeah, that show's in 3 months. I can learn all the lyrics to their songs by them. Tight.
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
Here we go.
I've done that before where like Facebook, this was even a few years ago, Facebook was like really pushing this one artist. And I was like, I could learn all the music and go to the concert. And then the night of the concert, I got real bad anxiety. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to go. Because they had like emailed me. It felt like such a like Facebook, like they were like, hey,
you have to do this,
we
right?
saw that you bought tickets. Why don't you sign up for the meet and greet? And I was like, oh yeah, I'll sign up for the meet and greet. And then all of a sudden,
$50
no, it was free.
Oh, great. Never mind.
It was free, but
Fantastic.
I was like, then I started being like, I can't do this. And I remember day of, I just ate the cost of the ticket and didn't go. And I was like, this was a good decision.
Well, here's the thing now that when you go to concerts, are you looking if anyone else is like singing along? No one cared.
Well, and also we went to the Alkaline Trio and everybody was real sleepy.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Because they're all getting older.
Yeah. We talked about that when Marty was on. It was like after that Bears game, right? Like,
everybody was like sad and sleepy. And it was so funny because like I've never been part of an encore that was so like...
I guess we got to do this.
And then at a certain point, and I was really trying to like keep it going because I felt embarrassed that everyone wasn't cheering loud enough. And also I wanted to like hurry it along. And then after like a minute, maybe 2 minutes of lackluster cheering, someone in the audience, as they came back on stage, went, yeah, we deserve that.
Oh, my
God. I was like, no, you didn't. Like, nobody deserved that. But it's nice of them to come back and then clearly state that they're doing 2 more songs.
Yeah. We will do 2 more, and that is it.
And then we will leave, so don't do the thing again. It was
Please, they're going to turn the lights on.
But it was like...
Don't throw anything.
There wouldn't have been a second encore. Everybody was just kind of like...
Yeah. Well, a lot of like, that was at the Metro, and a lot of those like venues have like this fake encore where like, if you're not done by 11:15, you guys are going to get sued and you're not going to get paid all the money. There's insurance and all that shit. So there's always just going to be one.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're the boss, Bruce Springsteen, my good friend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's
He seems like a nice man.
Oh, my God. He seems so charming.
Do you know, do you know George McAuliffe? He was in the improv world back in the day in Chicago.
No.
And I think he lives in LA now, but he is one of the biggest Springsteen fans.
Yeah.
Multiple concerts, always like good seats. He got
The
pulled
show's
up
called
on
Multiple
stage.
Idiots,
Multiple Idiots concerts. He got pulled up on stage, was given a guitar, had his like moment, and somebody got like amazing pictures. And I remember like just it felt like the whole world celebrated with him, where everyone's like, George, we know how much you love him. How was he? He was great. It was the best day of my life. And we were all just like, yeah. And it's like, I feel like it's my story and it's not.
Yeah. I totally get that. Yeah. Oh, man. I had a similar thing where I got to sing a song for the, like, on stage with the Dropkick Murphys once.
That's amazing.
At the Warped Tour. And it was like, I was like, we all did this together. And they're like, it's really just you, but we're happy for you. I was like, I'll take it.
We're together forever.
We're out doing it.
I love stuff like that.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. And it's like, you guys, this is going to sound odd, but I think you guys have a kind of a following like that with your podcast, where there's people who are so, like, you guys have, there's people have tattoos of like.
Some people think that we're
podcast.
famous.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Of course you're not. No one's famous anymore.
No one's famous.
No one's famous anymore.
No, we recently somebody was interviewing us for like a piece they wanted to write about the podcast, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like asked a question. I was like, so how does it feel to be like this famous? And we were like, it feels like we're the same amount. We just know more people.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel like with the podcast. I don't see it as like my fans. It's like a little community.
It totally is.
And
yeah.
so it's really fun when people get like tattoos and stuff that I drew, and it doesn't feel like this weird like Billy Corgan, don't touch me. Like I always want to see the tattoos. I always want to talk to people. Like I like that interaction.
That's the best.
And if anyone's creepy, I can just alert Marty, and they know that we're together. And you know,
Marty threatened to. I know it was fake, but Marty threatened to box my ears when he was on our show.
That sounds like Marty.
Yeah, it really does.
He said
and it was one of the most terrifying. It literally, I'm not joking. It legitimately scared me a little bit.
Yeah,
he can turn it on when he needs to.
Adam Burke the other day was saying that and
I warned Adam Burke.
He is like, I don't understand how you can get away saying the things that you say, because Marty will say something real like freaking inappropriate but like adorable, and you're like, oh, and he's like, I couldn't do that. And it's like most people couldn't do that.
Like the way, but the crazy thing about Marty is that he'll be like, yeah, and then I cummed all over the cum, and you'll be like, oh, Marty, and then someone else will be like, yeah, and then I shit, and he's like, come on, man,
yeah, that's enough.
That's enough. Yeah. He walks this very crooked line.
It's an interesting line of justice.
It's like queef's totally fine.
Shit,
shits. No, thank you. Yeah, and I don't like a Dookie story.
No,
not a fan. I just called it a Dookie story. That's how much.
That's how much you don't like it. Yeah, I'm not a big gross head, but you know, a well placed yucky.
Oh my God!
I'll still bow to it. I'll bow to a well-placed yucky.
Yeah,
yucky. That's your first sticker for the podcast.
I'll bow to a nice.
I'm going to help you with your merch.
Please do. That's what we need. Yeah. The dozens and dozens of multiple idiots need merch.
Yeah,
very important to monetize.
Start a Redbubble store.
What's a Redbubble store?
It's like those cafe press. They're like you put a design in, then you could get a different shirt or a mug.
Cool. I like that. Yeah. Aaron, write it down. Ted Bubble. Thank you.
Ted Trouble.
Ted Trouble.
You remember old Ted Trouble?
Teddy Trouble. Oof. I did do you like TED Talks?
Yeah, when one goes viral and I watch a little bit of it.
Yeah, I don't know why I just brought. I do, and I'm not going to talk about it. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I like them. I like TED Talks the same way I like the best moments of America's Got Talent.
Yeah,
where I'll be like, "Is this the best one ever?" I will watch it.
Are you guys watching that thing where the lady's got a mask on and is singing?
No, but I'm seeing it peripherally on Twitter. That's how I intake most of my media.
I get everything. Yeah.
I read the premise of Bird Box and went, not for me.
Do you like scary movies? You're such a positive, nice, uplifting person. You've been to Disney as an adult without children.
Multiple idiot times.
Do you like anything scary?
Yeah, if it's well done. Yeah. I don't like poorly done things or things that I feel like sacrifice the story or where it's like, well, we can do this. And it's like, I'm really into like, if something's like it, I love.
Oh, I love that.
But at certain points, I was so scared that I felt like, I was like, do I need to leave? Like, I'm very scared. Do I need to get out of that? I was like, I've never had this happen before. Although when I was a kid, I asked my mom if I could please leave when Belle went into the West Wing because she wasn't supposed to, and I didn't like her breaking the rules.
In Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah. But I had a dad who was like very angry if we broke the rules, so I was like, she should know not to do that.
And I love breaking the rules. That was my favorite thing in the world.
When I used to work at a child development center, I'd be in a watch area with a couple kids, and I had two very sweet 3-year-old boys, and I went, who here likes breaking the rules? And I raised my hand and they didn't. And then I went, who here likes following the rules? And they both obediently raised their little hands. And I felt like, how did they just make me look like an idiot?
They just made you look like the lamest fucking person.
It was so,
they dumped on you so hard in the nicest way.
And they're
just sweet little choir boys. Just, we like to follow the rules. Asshole.
And we're going to tell on you because legally we have to.
I just remember when I was a little kid, I found out what the middle finger was. In my jacket and stuff, I would just flip people off. Just because I was like, it made me feel alive for the first time.
The only time I used the middle finger after I found out about it until I was an adult or until like, teenage years. I thought that it was definitely okay with God to sometimes point it down and flip off the devil. I was like, God's okay with this. That's how I'm going to do it.
How Christian was your upbringing?
Very extremely. It was like if you're reading, we weren't allowed to watch a lot of stuff.
Not hell yeah, but
if you're, heck yeah. Gosh, yes.
Sorry,
if you're like reading a book and it makes you feel weird, it's probably demons. I wasn't allowed to celebrate Halloween.
Probably demons?
I wasn't allowed to celebrate Halloween until 3rd grade, but my poor sister was in 9th grade and only did 1 year of trick-or-treating ever.
Oh, my God.
And then after that, they kind of gradually loosened their strictness.
Does she have children now?
She has one child who has definitely celebrated every Halloween.
Okay, great. And do they like go full force on it now?
Yeah. They he was a baby. They took him around in a wagon.
Oh, awesome.
And my brother's
a wagon, much like
my brother's a pastor. He's like real chill and liberal and progressive and takes the kids trick-or-treating. So it's like an interesting to see how everybody's.
Yeah. Is it like a big old like mega churchy?
No, it's a Purdue's campus.
Oh, great.
Church. So it's like all students. They come over and hang out. That's it's cool. A very fun vibe.
Yeah.
But everybody's allowed to do Halloween now, but we weren't at a certain point.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was so scared I was going to get possessed by a demon for most of my life.
What would the demon do?
I don't know. Bad stuff? Yell at the teachers? I don't know. Mr. Nakey?
Flip people off in their jacket? I don't know.
Yeah, like something bad.
That's amazing.
I think that's one of the things that I like is I'm like, ooh, Marty was kind of bad and I was good. And now we've both mellowed out and are about the same.
Me and Val have a very similar thing where she was like a rule follower and a national merit scholar and studied all the
Following
time.
The rules.
And I was like, I was in punk bands. I quit the army. I'm pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you quit the army.
I quit the army ROTC.
Okay.
I did a year of ROTC. And then
that's like community army?
It's like summer camp during school. Like you basically just wear a uniform and once or twice a week you go into a big field
and flip people off in your jacket.
I mean, you shoot fake guns, you march around. Honestly, the one skill that I took from it, you learn how to use a compass and a map.
That's smart.
So it actually was very helpful.
I have a very poor sense of direction.
Oh, do you?
It's shocking to people how bad my sense of direction.
Shocking.
It's shocking. I remember when MapQuest started and I was like, I'm going to be okay.
That's amazing. That is amazing. That's kind of how Mal is too, where but she's very confident in any decision she makes, which is a great thing. But it's also, sometimes
it can throw you off the scent.
It can definitely, yeah, for sure. But she'll just like walk halfway like into the crosswalk, and then she's like, "Oh fuck, I needed to." All right, so come back, and I'm like, "You should just." I know where we're going.
Yeah, I let the other person lead too much. Often when it's someone who has no idea where they're going, and I'm like, "Well, they probably know better than me." That's probably a self-confidence issue I should work on.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with orienteering. Shockey, lovely. Let's get into this part.
Yeah.
Where we talk about weddings.
Weddings.
You guys, Marty, good wedding date? Have you been to any recently?
We have been to 2 weddings together.
Good. That's a good number.
So much fun.
30 in 3 years.
Yeah.
2's good.
He dances one, but not too much.
Yeah.
And he's fun. He makes jokes. You know, at Ricky Gonzalez's wedding, we just had the best wedding table I've ever been part of. Just all comedians, and I knew every single person.
That's great.
And it was just like the best bits.
Yeah.
We made a joke lineup where I booked everybody and gave them their minutes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Marty's a wonderful wedding date.
That's great. It's important because most of the weddings that we go to is Mal's friend, and she doesn't
30
know.
in 3 years?
Oh, yeah.
That's too many.
Yeah. I mean, it's like.
Is Mal really likable? Because you're not getting all those.
I think 5 have been mine.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
No,
I had one and he had one, but also I think that Ricky's counts as mine too. But
I think
more
that
his.
counts as, yeah. No, the reason that Mal, and it's one of the reasons I wanted to start this podcast is because Mal is great at friends. Mm-hmm. She's an amazing friend. She's very loyal. She's always there for everybody. And she has this group that she's known basically her entire life where they're like, we are a unit. Mm-hmm. We are basically a family. Bah. And I don't really have that. Because when I was in high school, none of my friends went to high school. And then they all, became burnouts. Yeah. And then when I went to college, I started doing stand-up when I was 19. So I was just like, bopping around everywhere. I never really had like roots of a friendship. And now, instead of organically growing these relationships, podcast. Make them.
Well, and here's a good stating my case.
Yeah.
Me and Mal have always gotten along.
Well, yeah, you guys
since
know each
before
other.
You were dating.
You guys know each other from improv.
No.
From something.
Stand up, I think. I met her. I felt like when I was just goofing around doing bits places, because I've never technically done stand up. I'll do bits places, but I'm not.
Well, you'll do. Or not you, but Helen will show up at a 2-hour.
Yeah, I'm happy to show up and do like a bit, but I don't have a long running idea of things to say.
You don't have like 7.
But I love watching stand up and thinking about it. And it's kind of a ideal situation because I can talk comedy language with Marty without having to do it in that way. I can do it the way I feel like doing it, which is a bunch of different random things.
And that's a great dynamic.
I take notes for him. It's so fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll like pull up my phone and it's like certain phrases or like sometimes I can help if like there was a weird audience. I'm like, when you said that, the mic cut out. They didn't hear the punchline. That's why it was so freaking dead quiet.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
You changed your, wow.
And it's never like, you should have done it. Like, it's always just kind of like, here's what I noticed. Yeah. I love this phrasing. And then just little reminders of like stuff he riffed. Yeah. And then like, he likes it, and I like being involved. You
literally are the real life version of a bit I sometimes do on the road, where I'll say like a riff or something, and I'll be like, Linda, get that down, write that down, Linda, and then I'll go, everyone, give it up for my secretary, Linda, and then they clap, and I go, it's not real, I don't have a secretary. I don't know what you should do sometime? I'm a Chicago secretary, not a traveling secretary.
You should really book a lady in like a plaid suit with like a bun and a little tiny stenography. And then have this is going to be when you're doing your special. Have a light pointed on her and then have it come up and have her like wave. I'll play Linda. I'll do it free.
I love it. I've literally have had that idea since I started doing that bit.
So funny.
I need it to happen. I need it so bad.
Linda, get that down.
Linda, get that down. All right. So it's good. Here we go. Let's
We love weddings. We love love. Now let's get to the real shit.
Love. Sarah used to be scared of spooky demons making her yell at the teachers.
Yeah, that's all it would be. Like, oh no, the demon would make me fart in front of everybody. We can't have that.
What kind of weird branch of Christianity were you in where farting was a sin? That's natural.
Listen, we went to every different kind of church.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we would just spend a couple years here, spend some time here.
There's no way if you have the same classmates for all 8 years, then you go to all boys Catholic school. There's no way Catholicism is anti-fart. They can't be at this point.
No, they gotta be.
They gotta be.
I don't think any church is anti-fart. I just didn't want to be gross. I didn't want the demon to make me gross, Mike.
Oh my God, that is my biggest fear. That was my biggest fear in school, was that someone would think I was smelly. Because I heard someone else talk behind someone else's back and be like, yeah, I don't really like that kid. He's kind of smelly. And I was like, oh, better not be smelly.
Oh, I can't be smelly. Yeah. Well, you got Mal on the case, right? That's the best thing about a relationship is they'll tell you if you're smelly.
Yeah, it is. It is nice.
Yeah.
It is nice.
It's nice to have someone who will have your back.
Sniff wise.
Crawl inside you and sniff.
Just tauntaun with her nose. All right, number one in the gauntlet. I would listen. I use the term Bologna Boys to describe the groomsmen. We're going to keep it Bologna Boys, regardless of who we got in the chair.
A Bologna broad.
Anybody can be a Bologna Boy.
Yeah.
It's open.
But that's the term.
That's just the term.
I'm a Bologna Boy and so can you.
I'm a BOLOGNA BOY.
BOLOG enablers.
That's it. This is a strong opening salvo.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Number one, plan my bachelor party, Shockey.
All right, so here's what we're doing. We're getting the Bologna Boys together, and we're thinking we would do 2 cars. But I'm going to nix that. All right. I got a lot of money nowadays. By the time you get married.
You got these hot Blue Chew podcast money.
I got a lot of Blue Chew bucks. They don't work anywhere but on BlueChew.com. So
you got buku Blue Chews.
Yeah, we're getting the big Blue Chew traveling bus. You know the buses that you had in middle school with the little TVs and the soft like carpety chairs?
Like for when you guys would go to Washington, D.C. to see the spaceship or whatever?
Yeah.
What's in DC?
I got us one of those.
Okay, yeah.
And we're going to be doing like the great hits. Okay, so on the way out of town, we all meet up in Chicago. You don't know where we're going, but it's revealed as we go.
Okay.
On the way out of town, it's daytime. It's like Friday at 11, Thursday, Friday. We're doing the weekend, so it's the beginning of the weekend, around 11 a.m.
Okay.
Oh my God, we're at the Museum of Science and Industry with all the boys. So we do that. And that's just fun for everybody. And also, I used to work there, so I kind of razz everybody, And
there you go.
Here's where we did this and, take U505 and all that.
Yeah.
Then we stock up on snacks. And you know what? We buy them at the museum gift store. So, that's...
So they're going to be really expensive.
Exactly. And I got the money. So there you go. Then we're
going. You're filthy rich in this scenario.
Oh yeah. Then we're going up, up, up. All right. So we're spending a day on the way up. We're gonna hit up Ann Arbor, all the old spots. You're kind of in charge of this one.
Okay.
All your favorites. We'll just make sure you get home at the end of the night.
Perfect. Would you like to know where we would go?
Yeah.
We go.
It's my job.
You sounded a little bit like a woman, like a corporate liaison from WWE right then.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting that when I get a little mean, it sounds like one specific character that has 25,000 views on YouTube.
Congratulations. Hey, my favorite thing in that video, not to shine your grapes, but that's a term I just made up.
Shine my grapes.
I don't know if it makes sense, but I'm using it. When you go, and that's what we're doing now. That's my favorite part. Because that's how they operate.
I wish I could tell you how stressed out I was before doing that piece.
I can only imagine.
I don't even remember. It just went well, Yeah.
We would go to Tio's and get a wet burrito, which is fantastic. We would go to the 8-Ball Lounge, which is great.
Is there a pool there?
Yeah.
Marty's going to love that.
Yeah, it's great. There's a pool, Touch Tunes jukebox. They haven't taken anything off. Any song you want to hear. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also very smoky, and my friend Colum still works there. And here's why you would like it. Mm-hmm. They still have a VCR, and a library of tapes.
Oh, that's really fun. You can just pop.
Yeah, it's great. And then late night at Mr. Spots, and then we would go back to the greatest all-night speakeasy in Ann Arbor, my parents' basement.
And then that's where we crash.
That's where we crash.
And then, so that's like Friday or Saturday, depending on it's 4 days.
Oh my God. I have to tell you something very quickly.
Yeah.
I slept in my parents' basement last night, and for the first time in my 29 years, I smoked weed in my parents' house.
That's cool.
Dude. Vape pen in the basement.
Oh,
I felt
and then,
so good.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Felt amazing.
I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It really did feel like
now get back in the Blue Chew bus with everybody.
Sorry, I'm back in. I apologize. Yeah.
And then we make it the rest of the way up. So we have like a medium early morning, get a good breakfast, keep driving. And you're not driving. We're going to have like either a Blue Chew driver or somebody so we can all sleep.
Breakfast at Angela's, by the way. Go on.
Okay,
Sorry.
perfect.
Yeah.
Then we'll put on whatever VHS tape. Probably Good Burger because your friends would be there.
Sweet Baby Jay's going to make some nuggets. Yeah.
And then we go up to just past the Mackinac Bridge, and we have a weekend lake house adventure.
These are all great things.
I know the area around like Brevert. It's like
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah, that's where we always used to get this like condo that we would rent. So I know all the beaches. We'll go to Gustafson's. And then we'll do the kind of like the night I picture it ending with us all laying in a row, just passing a bottle of wine and looking at the stars.
That's adorable.
That's
fantastic.
You know what the trick was? I just did all things that I wanted to do, but I gave you a little freedom.
Yeah. You just said, but then you get to pick where we have breakfast.
So there you go.
I'm more I'm a TC in the summer guy. I'm a Traverse City in the summer guy.
I love Traverse City.
That's where my best friend Justin lives with his young baby Frankie, who is going to be soon to be a recipient of Little Boy Wrestling Dreams, the book from Copacabana.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if it's too early to announce this. We're going to be doing like a fun pop-up kids show promoting Colt's book and the Young Bucks books this year at
great.
Challengers.
That's very fun.
It's weird. We do a podcast that's for adults only, and yet we've met so many wonderful children because of the podcast.
You guys are so you guys can get really filthy on that thing, but there's all these little kids that just love you. It's the greatest thing in the world.
And you assisted in getting us Dina's Christmas present.
I gave a Christmas. I was a surrogate of Christmas.
One of her presents,
6-year-old girl.
Yeah, she's a fan of wrestling. She's at AEW. You helped us get the present to her. One of her items was a Challengers gift card.
Great.
And would you believe that on Saturday, Marty and I happened to stop into Challengers, and they happened to stop in at the same time.
Oh my God.
It was like, I was like, Dina must think we're magic. I think Dina's magic. Like, what are you going to do?
If you believe in Dina.
And I know you do.
6-year-old wrestling fan.
So can you.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yes.
Shockey's coming back.
Oh, yeah, 2019. 2K19. It's crazy. I'm constantly working with one or the other of those guys.
Isn't that
something.
Crazy?
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, Sarah used to be in a very fun comedy singing group. How would you describe it?
We said comedy band.
Comedy band. I'd give you that.
Our comedy brand.
The Shocktees. It was very fun.
Marty's having a renaissance of being into the Shocktees because he lived in LA during the time that we were doing stand-up shows.
Yeah,
so he's kind of like, hey, this is fun.
Yeah, I worked with you guys a couple of times, and I was like, I think every stand-up goes into watching a musical act like, fucking music and comedies, motherfuckers.
Oh, we used to have
and
like...
you guys would turn everybody.
Well, we would have like in the song, we'd reference like, oh, great. It's like 3 white people with a guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably don't want this. But then we do like a fun little like opening. And then, usually we would usually get people by the second song, if not the first.
Yeah.
In some cases, it would be till the third. Or there's some nights where you just can't have them.
Of course. Yeah. Everybody.
If you don't get them by the third one, they're not yours.
If there's any aspiring comedians out there, it's okay to bomb. Please allow yourself to bomb. You'll be better for it, and you'll be
Don't
happier
deny that
for
you
it.
bombed when you definitely bombed. It's okay.
Oh my God. And if you bombed and someone else did well, don't go up to them and then say to that person who did well, hey, they're a little weird, right? Don't fucking do that.
I've had so many conversations
do
about
that. The shittiest thing you could do.
Yeah,
Don't try and ruin someone else's night.
No one could win them over tonight, could they?
Yeah, right, guys? That's like when you say something shitty and you say it in a way that tries to make the other person complicit in your shittiness. Like, that'd be if I walked in and be like, hey, women, right? The worst, huh? Like,
I always hate if I'm in line at a store and then, like, maybe the cashier's taking a while and someone turns around like, oh, look at this asshole. I'm like, don't involve me in this. Yeah, I will not look at your eyes.
Yeah.
I feel for the cashier now even more.
This person is making $13 an hour and you're making faces. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Come on, man.
I'm not going to be in your face brigade, but I will be in the Bologna Boys.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You haven't been offered yet. You're doing well so far. Also, check out my other podcast, Face Brigade. Dropping every Friday. It's about Gal Gadot, who I think has a very pretty face.
True.
You know, here's a fun fact about me. Whenever Gal Gadot comes on the TV, I go like this. And
like she's going to come over?
Yeah.
Like a little puppy?
And it's only so the other celebrities get jealous.
Okay.
I picked her.
They can feel it.
They can definitely feel it. Number 2, when it comes to music, and we're probably going to have a band, but let's say this is in the oeuvre of a DJ. What are some no-nos? And what are some yes pleases?
Okay. Some no-nos. First of all, no offense, Shocktees are out. I know you're a fan. I don't want to hear it.
Well, we will be walking down the aisle to I Don't Want to Hear It by Minor Threat. Thank you.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of the too many forced dances.
Everyone says that.
Yeah, you gotta pick one.
And I'll be honest with you. Everyone says it because it's the right answer.
Yeah,
it really
because it's always like, oh, we're doing the Congo line.
Yeah, weird.
Which one do you allow to be in there? I'll tell you which one I allow. Take it back now, y'all.
Cha-cha,
3 hops this time. 3 hops this time. Bow, bow, bow. Like, come on, that's.
I have PTSD from that song because at one of the dances in high school, and they would call it a meat market, which is the weirdest.
At school?
Yeah, so we were all boys. And so that's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's too hilarious.
A sausage snafu with the Bologna Boys. I see where you got the name now.
But they would call it a meat market dance. And any girl from any school could come. And there's this one girl who I like.
Meat market?
Yeah, crazy.
Now there are girls involved. I thought it was like a pun, like it's a sausage party.
No. I think that's what I don't think they meant to
get
do
the
that.
Meat.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, is it MEET?
Yeah.
Oh. My brain's been MEAT this whole time.
Tight, dude. Very tight.
I was like, that's entirely inappropriate.
You're kind of like Julie from Real World New Orleans, the Mormon girl who got to the Big Easy and became fucking crazy.
You know, that about sums it up.
Did you know that that's Dandree's cousin?
No.
100% true. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. And they would
the big Dreezy.
The big Dreezy. Dreezy F. Big shouts to Dandree's and all of his future endeavors.
Oh.
Oh my God, Drees? Is Dan Drees here?
That's my Dan Drees. Saul. It's that guy from Vine. It goes, Saul. You said no Vine. I said yes.
Come on. So I was dancing with this girl who I knew from something. I don't even remember. But I was dancing with a very attractive woman, and it was a slow song, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna like get the time, yeah, okay. And then the song stops after the first verse. Cha-cha slide comes out. Devastated.
Have you seen that bit in Freaks and Geeks?
It's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
That is exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Oh my God, oof. Man. I love that show. There's an official show of this podcast. It's Freaks and Geeks. Go watch all of Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh my God. The one time I had an edible that didn't agree with me, I'm usually fantastic on them. I was just freaking out, and I was just like very cynical about everything. And I was like, no, this is real. My hand isn't real. Pants aren't real.
Fun guy Mike showed up.
Yeah. It's like I became like a shitty Bill Hicks. It's like, this is all bullshit. And we're watching Freaks and Geeks, and I just go, they're just acting.
Well, yeah.
And Mal's just like, yeah, they are acting out. Yeah, it's not real. She's like, Are you asleep yet?
I was high once, and all of a sudden I was watching The Wedding Singer, and I was like, Drew Barrymore is not crushing it. And I could not unsee it.
I think in my head it was just like someone told James Franco to say that.
Yeah, it was like, this is
bullshit, dude.
This is real.
Oh God, that's the dumbest shit. But what are your guests, please? What would you like to play?
I would like to throw in some underrated favorites. I feel like there's stuff that everybody knows and likes that's not I get real sick of the usual wedding playlist where I'm like, is someone making money off of this? Why do we do these songs? Some wrestling themes, but I would love to stitch one or two things together where it's you think it's just this, and then it folds into American Hero, but then it's the glass breaks, where it's fun remix where it's
that would be amazing.
Girl talk of wrestling themes.
Oh my God, that would be unreal.
That's gonna be in there.
I need you should talk about this on your show, because on here this goes into the
Tyler could probably do it.
I would
Patterson of the Shocktees.
I would love if that happened. That
Tyler
would be the greatest
has
shit.
already a couple songs that I would want to throw in.
Okay.
He has a fun song where he edited in it's instrumental, but then he's got clips, and he has a "Fight Forever" chant as the chorus. It's very cool.
That's awesome.
He did this project called El Chupacabro, and he'd come out with a Slash wig and a lucha mask and just play electric guitar to these songs he wrote that have the cream rises to the top. It was super badass.
That's very tight.
Yeah, so we'll have a couple of those songs.
I love it. Have you ever seen our buddy Sammy Rachar DJ?
I have not seen him DJ.
He DJs under the name Young Zucchini. His new mixtape just dropped. We can give him a plug.
Hot?
It's very hot. But Sammy does what you're talking about that Tyler does, but he does it with SNL
that's
drops.
Fun.
Yeah, and
I think
shit
everyone
from
just
sitcoms.
wants to put. Yeah. I have to find a thing that DJ Accident Report said to me the other day. Are you familiar with the Nobodies?
I don't
Nobody's
believe
watching
I am.
wrestling. So it's a couple drag queens that are not super familiar with wrestling, and then DJ Accident Report, who can kind of explain what they need to know as they just read these performers to filth. And he had asked me the other day what he should play for a bunch of old men, I think, he was DJing a show for. He said, Sarah, I got booked to DJ at a gay muscle bear bar. What do I play? Britney Spears, right? I'm the youngest person here. And I said, ha, 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 and Disney remixes, to which he replied, I'm playing the raunchiest trap music I could find, and they're into it. So all that to say, I'm going to play the raunchiest trap music I can find, and you'll be into it.
I love that.
There you go.
That's the kind of people you need.
That's who you need and how you screed.
Fantastic. Let's move on to the next question. Fantastic answers.
Thank you.
This is the point in the show that I think Marty excelled at this. This is the best thing he did. I got a lot of family, and some of them are ne'er-do-wells. Mm-hmm. They never do well.
Yes.
So poor. And they're rough. They're gruff. And they're buff. And they're the stuff. Mm-hmm. A lot of tall top hats. And male gigolos.
Tall drinks of milk.
Yeah. There's a good chance that they're going to interrupt this. I'm putting you in charge of security. You're now head of security.
Okay.
I'm gonna make pretend. I'm gonna pretend to be one of these guys. I'm gonna yell out. You're gonna shut me down. How's that sound?
Yeah. So what point are you yelling out?
This is, let's call it almost to the I do part.
At the ceremony.
Yeah, at the ceremony.
Okay.
The bridge before the chorus.
Okay.
I object to this matrimony. I hate this. It's terrible. They should get married. They're different. One of them's
I'm gently
short
touching your arm.
Oh, hey, hi. What's up? Hi.
Spanky.
Ooh, Spanky. What's my
Spanky.
name's not Spanky. It's Spanky.
Come here. They've already got appetizers over here.
Oh, my God. What do they got?
Shh. They got little toasts. With crab dip.
Oh, my God. That sounds amazing.
Be quiet because they don't know we're stealing them.
Okay, yeah. A caper?
Yeah.
We're going to do a caper?
Yeah, look at this little shrimp cocktails with just one shrimp on a dippy.
Oh, Mike always did love
Spanky, you like
shellfish.
that?
I love it.
Yeah, why don't we stay back here a minute?
No, but I got to go over there and be loud.
No, they're filming it.
Oh,
and
so
then,
I can...
Then if we watch it later, you can roast his nuts all you want.
Oh, my God, I love roasted
You
nuts.
seem funny.
I always wanted to do stand-up, but I never got up there.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
It's never too late. John Hamm didn't get an acting degree till he's in his 40s. And by degree, I mean big role. Spanky?
Oh, my God. He did have that big old roll, though.
Hey, have a cheesecake bite on me.
What?
I had him in my pocket, Spanky.
Oh, my God.
Can I call you Spanky? I already will.
Listen, I was the cruiserweight champion for a little bit, and then I lost it.
Where'd you wrestle?
WWE.
No, come on.
I'm Brian Kendrick.
Oh, shit. I knew. You know what? And I wanted to play it cool.
Hey, I tell you what.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Spanky.
I started with Brian Danielson. Do you know why they call me Spanky?
Why?
Because I drove from Los Angeles all the way to San Antonio straight through. And the only way I kept myself was by edging while I was driving the whole way.
Spanky.
So they called me Spanky. And it stuck. I'm a 40-year-old man. That's okay with being called Spanky.
Brian, that's wild.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
I'm glad you're here too.
Hey, man.
And you know what? Go as crazy as you want in the reception.
I'm gonna get mad.
That's fine.
Do you think I could choke Mike out?
No. Because you know what?
What?
You know in your soul it wouldn't be right. And you're a good man.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Bye, nice lady. Very good.
I went with the gentle it on down tactic.
That was a great call. There's been so many recently where it's just been me sitting across the table from my friend and them looking straight in my eyes and threatening to violently harm me.
Wow. Yeah. That's never my tactic.
I know.
Mine's
I appreciate it.
Hey, let's find the good in everybody quietly and with appetizers.
Let's get some crab dip going. Let's do it. Fantastic. We only have one more gauntlet to do. But before we do that, there's two segments we need to do. They're both
BlueChew.com, promo code
Brad. We have to do our weekly ASMR minute. So if you'd like to join me down here in this register, we're down here.
Absolutely.
No, we're right here. And we're whispering. And I will be doing what I like to call the paper wave.
I'm going to take a sip of my water.
Oh, that'll be good. That'll be good for the tinklies.
It's delicious water.
Let's see. I haven't done this one yet. Let me see if I can. There's me sipping a little bit of a alcoholic beer. And then here's me. Is that good? I think
that's good, yeah. This is what my pop socket sounds like.
Let's see if we can get the pull tab off this beer.
Take it easy. It was so...
It really was.
Yeah.
Well, that was the ASMR minute. It was pretty good.
Yeah, and what a minute it was.
What a minute it was.
We're all 1 minute closer to the big
Death.
Heaven is for real.
A colossal waste of time each and every week. But one person told me they really liked it, so we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, why not?
Listen, the dozens and dozens of fans need to hear that thing. Oh, and here's another thing I have to do every week. I have to do my weekly Bane impression.
Please.
The best impression of Bane. If you don't know Bane, he was in the second... no, it was the third Nolan Batman, Dark Knight Rises. Mm-hmm. He was also in the one with George Clooney, where he was like a professional wrestler guy. But here we go. Here's my weekly Bane impression. Hey, guys, put that down. There we go.
Wow. I didn't know what I was expecting,
I know, right?
You know?
It wasn't that. I
really like the dank meme where they edit in different words to Bane at the stadium talking to everybody. Yeah. There's a real good one where they do this weird Burger King foot lettuce meme.
What does he say?
Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you want when you go to Burger King is foot fungus on your lettuce. But that might just be what you get. It's this weird like video that some guy uploaded about someone putting their feet on lettuce, and it's supposed to sound like a newsy video, but his cadence is very strange and it became a meme.
Burger King's bad. They've really fallen off, I thought.
I
think.
still like them. I like their zesty onion ring sauce. And they could do no wrong.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's a good sauce. All right, Shockey, this has been fantastic. But it's come to the point where this is where a Bologna Boy proves their muster. Mm-hmm. Or their luster.
Mustard.
Proves their mustard. Really puts the mustard on the burger. Mm-hmm. Or the hot dog.
Or the meat market.
Or the meat market. Or the bologna. I will call in Greg, our resident Foley artist. He's one of the best in the business, but he's a little bit chatty, so I don't like to talk to him. Greg, if you like, come in. Greg, please. We're on a tight schedule. Please do what you do, and then Shockey, after we make the talk at the wedding noise, you can do the speech, and then we'll see where we go from there. All right, here we go.
I guess it's me. Thank you all, first of all, for being here. I know Mike's already said thank you so much, but it's a really special day, and it means a lot that you're here. I first met Mike at the meat market in school, and I thought that... It's crazy. I thought we were going to get married because the way that he danced with me to Two Hops this time was outstanding. But, life travels and things go their own way, so to speak. And I'm going to go my own way and say, without putting myself under the Blue Chew tour bus that's outside, I'm going to say that Mal is a much better woman than I could ever hope to be, and anyone in this building, including all of Mike's relatives. So he's lucking out and cashing in his chips for the marriage license. And if this meat market is what's going to be the way of things, well, I'm glad they're meeting and that later he'll be meeting her. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been sponsored by Blue Chew. Tonight, I've provided at each and every seat a little tablet. It's chewable. You can have it on an empty stomach or a full stomach. So go nuts tonight. Just pull that little packet out and enjoy. Children, please abstain. It's not candy. I also have complimentary sweet tarts available for any children who are disappointed. Mike is one of the best people that I've known since middle school or high school. It was unclear. And I only wish him the best and none of the brat worst. Now here comes the supper because I was booked to speak right before the food came out. Mike, you're a good guy. Everybody cheers. Mal, you're better than all of us.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
That was lovely. I appreciate it.
I lied. I didn't go to the meat market.
I know you didn't.
But you know what? I felt like the audience would like. In stand-up, you're allowed to tell lies as jokes.
Yes.
That's what I was doing.
I walk up there and I lie every single night.
Yeah.
I tell them that I used to be I don't lie that much. Thank you so much for being here. Before we get to our final verdict, thank you so much for being here. This
Absolutely.
was fantastic. Lovely. As always. As always, you're one of those people where you walk in a room, everyone goes, they're here.
They go, not popular yet. She's still trying.
A cult favorite as a human. Sarah Shockey.
The Brave Little Toaster VHS tape of women.
Yeah. Good burger 36 times in a row, but in your life.
And you're paying for it every week for some reason.
Oh, man. Here, do you really want to... Justin's dad ran a company called Pelly Pelly. Do you know Pelly Pelly?
I'm unfamiliar.
So it's like a Gucci for the hip-hop community.
Okay.
And they made... Every time you see a rap video and someone's wearing a bright orange leather jacket, that's Justin's dad.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's the best. So shouts to Pelly Pelly. Good company.
Yeah, go out and buy one.
Yeah, go and get a Pelly Pelly and do it at Mr. Allen's. There was a store in Metro Detroit called Mr. Allen's, and they would have a commercial. And there's this character, Mr. Allen, who I've met the real Mr. Allen, tiny old Jewish man, very lovely guy. But him in the commercial was here, Mr. Allen, and he would go 29 or 2 for $50. Mr. Allen's 29 back to school $10.
Did you watch Detroiters?
Yes.
Okay. That seems like right up everybody's alley of what we're talking about.
So Watching Detroiters with me should be a special feature on the DVDs.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with the show. I've never met Sam or Tim, but
I have.
I pick up that name you just dropped.
There's
jerk.
two of them. Detroit Second City before it closed.
Of course, yeah. I'm sure there's a ton of people that we know, because I know a ton of people who were in that one and then either moved here or then just started doing stand up because it closed.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later. But every single episode, they'll either go by something or mention something where I have a story about me either getting drunk underage there or making out with someone there.
That's so fun.
It's the greatest thing in the world. And if it ever comes back, God fucking damn it, I hope it comes back.
I'm hoping that it gets picked up somewhere else, because it's the funniest show that I've seen.
Unbelievably funny. It broke my brain every single week how much I would laugh at that thing.
Yeah.
And the ravioli king himself, Big Sexy Kevin Nash, was this episode.
Well, you can really make that noise when you have this mic, because that's the same mic that he had when he was eating his raviolis in his shoot interview.
Wrestling fans, if you haven't, Google Kevin Nash shoot interview ravioli.
And you know what? Even regular folks, it's just all the bits from an interview where Kevin Nash is eating ravioli. It'll make you feel like you are eating ravioli.
Insane. I feel like if you're poor, if you're like paycheck to paycheck now and you're not doing super well, if you watch one of those videos, you'll feel full.
Yeah, you'll feel like you ate ravioli.
All right. Well, it's time for me to make my my ruling. It's time for me to open the door or shut it in your face. And
do you shut it in people's faces?
We'll see.
No, but like in the past, what's the ratio?
This is episode 17, and so far we are 0-16.
Okay.
No one's been allowed in yet.
Oh, no one's been allowed in?
No one's been allowed in yet.
Okay.
No one's been allowed in. And I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen.
So now my expectations are where they should be.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Sarah Joy Shockey, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
In the case of Shockey v. Bologna Boys, I rule that you will not be allowed in. You didn't make it.
That's fine.
You didn't make it.
You know what? If I didn't know the ratio, I'd be offended, but I'm not offended.
No one's made it in yet. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I can't allow you to. I can't allow you in. Brave Little Toaster sucks. There, I said it. Boom.
You can't, because I went to an engagement party once, and they go, okay, but everybody's not going to get invited to the wedding, and then like,
how do you go to the engagement party but not the wedding?
Then like 40 people. It was a surprise engagement party.
Oh.
And then like 40 people were like, I'm going to be invited to the wedding. And then like a lot of people didn't get invited to the wedding. So I see why you can't let people
friendships were ruined.
It's a very weird thing. Just acknowledge it if it's weird. Just, call us. Hey, I wish I could invite you to my wedding, but this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah, you got to.
Otherwise, then you go for years being like, are we cool?
Yeah, you hate me, right?
I have a situation, I'm just going to ask this week, and I'm putting it on the record.
Yeah.
Where a friend of mine got married and then said, I texted her congratulations, and she said, yeah, thanks so much. We missed you. And then I was like, I never got an invitation.
Oh, shit.
Do I just say anything, or do I just go, I just went, oh, well, it looked so fun.
Yeah.
Maybe just leave it.
I don't.
Fix this.
Man. I can tell you what I would do, and I don't know if it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Just pretend like you had a thing come up.
But I didn't ever get an invitation.
You didn't need to know that. Just be like, yeah, I couldn't make it.
But I never RSVP'd because I didn't know. Anyways, maybe I should acknowledge it and just be like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
I love you.
That should be the overarching thing, just being, I love you.
That's the main. But I love you.
The one thing I've realized from a lot of these weddings is like, they're really not paying attention to a lot of like the minutia that might like ruin someone's time there.
Yeah.
They're really just like, we're doing it. We're married.
Yeah.
Here we go. I got to say hi to everybody, and then we're going to dance, and then I'm going to do a shot with this dude from college who's yelling at me, and then we got to do it. And like, there's just so much
too
other
crazy.
Shit. There's way too crazy. And bringing up some I didn't, the bread was, is just, it's pointless. That's just my take. I don't know. Shockey, what a joy.
What a joy, Shockey.
What a joy, Shockey. What a nice time.
What an O'Keefe time.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me after I begged to be on the show through my famous boyfriend.
Hey, I mean, it's not about what you know. It's about who you know.
And
it's not
how you know them.
And how you know them. And who you've spent a little bit of time with.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Just Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling Thursdays on the MLW Radio Network.
MLW Radio Network. You guys still throwing it over to Sean Mooney in the MLW Event Center?
Nah, he's not doing that anymore.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, but it was fun while it lasted.
I thought that was so funny when you guys
It was so fun.
It was crazy.
Yeah, we're just doing the podcast, and then I'm at Sarah Joy Shockey on Twitter. It's hit or miss.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I think everybody on Twitter is hit or miss.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'm at the Mike O'Keefe on all this stuff. Rate, review, subscribe. Thank you so much. For Sarah Joy Shockey and Michael Sean Patrick O'Keefe, till death do us fart. See you next time.